This video is part of the certification program, SABA, Spreadsheet Applications in Business Analytics. Please contact if you want to apply for the certificate program, or for more details.
So guys, we really talked about alignment, wrapping, merging, font type, styles, bold, italics, underline, color, fill in color, text color, and border. Now I do have a final sheet where we will be talking about how to format the entire data by clubbing all these functions so that we have learned so far. So I'll quickly show how to apply all these things. Now you can see that you do have one small data over here, okay, but now it is not really making much sense. We really want it to make much sense in terms of the look and feel of the data. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing, the primary thing that you need to do is make sure that all the data is fitting properly under all the columns. Okay, so how to do that? The one thing is that you just keep double clicking on all the cells, or you can just select the entire data and just double click on either any one of these cells. So what it is going to do is it is going to adjust the width and the height of the cells. Okay, so now this is a better view of all the data. Yes or no? Right. Have this data, but again we don't have any headers differentiated between this data and the data actually beneath that. So what I'm going to do is I'll just try to add borders, try to fill in the colors and make it little more presentable. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I really want this text to be, instead of right align, I can just put it as left align. So what I can use is align left text. Okay, this is how you can do one thing, or if you want you can just do a center align. Okay, so whatever style that you want, or if there is any requirement from the manager side or your professor side, you can probably use either one of them. Then once I have aligned all the text, or if I want one single alignment, I can select the entire data set and use the left alignment. Okay, okay, so once I have done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the again all the column width. Okay, so now once I have done that, I'll be talking about the headers, that is my headings of the data. Let's make it bold. Let's increase the font size. Okay, so now the moment you have increased the font size, you can see the column width again needs to be adjusted. Okay, so that can be done at the later stage also, but the final thing that you need to do is you have to, only the last thing you have to apply is your borders, because once you have applied the borders, you need to, and if you really want to fit in all the text again, so it is difficult to remove the borders, and then you have to apply the borders all together again. Okay, so once I have applied that, I'll select the entire data, and then I can give nice borders, that is all borders. So you can see that the borders have been added to the text, and then again I can add the thick border outside, thick border outside. Now it is more presentable. Okay, once I have done that, I can add colors to the headers. Let's fill in with nice blue color or any one color. Let's fill in as white. So this makes sense. Yes or no? Okay, so now I can see that there is one heading for this entire data, but it is somewhere in between what it says and what really it doesn't say. So what I'm going to do is, let's make this text as header, not as one text which is just lying in one cell. So we'll just apply merge. If you have to apply wrapping of text, you can apply, but in this case we really don't want to apply wrap, because the text is not really overflowing the cell. So I am just going to merge and center. I have applied merge and center. Let's increase the font size. So once the font size is increased, now it makes a better sense. So we'll just fill in with light blue color to make it more presentable. Okay, This is what we will be talking about. The last thing that I really want you to understand is that we really want to, at times there are cells where we have used some kind of shortcuts. We really want to add, a note or comment how to do that. For example, you can see this, the CO doesn't understand what ISIN means. So you need to provide comment as International Securities Identification Number. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to that particular cell, make sure that the cell is highlighted. You can go to the other options under data and then insert the comments, or you can use the shortcut, which I personally use it more often. Do a right click, and the moment you do the right click, you can see this option as insert comment. So once you have done that, you can see a small red triangle appearing on the top right corner of the cell. So here the name of the system or the computer appears. You can change this if you don't want. I'm deleting it and I'm just adding this International Securities Identification Number. Okay, you can even adjust the width and the height of the this comment. I'm just adjusting it and it will just appear. So this comment is not going to be visible. It will be visible once you have done it, only when you are just going to hover on that particular cell. So you don't want that, unnecessary data getting cluttered under the headers. So what you can do is you can insert comments and make it even more presentable. Fine. Guys, I think we have covered almost everything. So I have created a small question for you here. It says instructions. You have to show this sheet to the CEO of your company. You can see that the sheet is not formatted properly, which we try to format and make it more beautiful in terms of presentation. Okay, so we created, what we did was we created ISIN comment. We changed the sales growth to be presented in left alignment. We didn't do particularly left alignment in terms of sales growth. Of course, if you want, you can change the left alignment. We'll see where is the left alignment. This is the left alignment. By default, I selected the left alignment for the entire data. And then it was that you want to insert the borders on the entire table and thicker border outside or than the inside table. And then the font side of the headers to be different than the remaining data, and you can use Calibri. So I'll just quickly select the entire data and change it to Calibri. So it is Arial narrow. I'll quickly use to Calibri. Okay. Again, you can just select the data, make sure that the data is fitted properly under all the cells and save the data.
This video is part of the certification program, SABA, Spreadsheet Applications in Business Analytics. Please contact if you want to apply for the certificate program, or for more details.